I've been to China 4 or 5 times. I can't remember. 4 times at least, maybe 5 times. And my kids, I sent them all to Chinese immersion school from 3 years old until they were in the fifth grade. And so they read, write, and speak Chinese. And then they've been, I don't know, 7 or 8 times. And my daughter, who is now 21, was 20 last year. And my son, as a 17-year-old, they just went on their own and flew to China with no plans last summer and spent 30 days there. And my sons, the year before, when they were 16, spent 30 days there. So travel for me, my daughter spent 3 months in Europe. Billy, was that last year? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. My daughter, when she would have been 19, just out of high school, graduated 2 years ago. Went to Europe for 90 days. And I took my son, who was a junior in high school, out for for the last month of the school year, and he went and met his sister, and the two of them traveled Europe. So for me, that was a very big. It was a big deal for me to make sure that my kids went and did that. Again, my background is I'm a dirt poor kid from. I come from nothing with 8 brothers and sisters. And so I could never imagine anything like that. And the feedback, and there is a question coming, believe it or not. The feedback that I got, and my wife got in particular, that I was sending my kids over there, and I did it on purpose, no plans. So they landed, they didn't know where they were staying other than whatever arrangements they made, waiting in airports on the way over for whatever hostels, and they stayed at hostels. And I really wanted the environment to be one where they had to make decisions and they had to do things on their own. And the pushback on this side from, like I said, in particular on my wife's side and from her friends, were, how in the world can you let your little girl go to Europe, or how can you let her go to China? And let me tell you, she thrived. In fact, yesterday she said, I can't wait. She was telling a story to some folks that were over at our house. She said, I can't wait to go back again. She absolutely thrived. So they've been, long story short, they've been all over the world. I've got a lot of experience with that. I've seen what it's done for them. And so the question I have for you is, knowing that about me and my experience and what you heard about my kids, what was your experience like as you moved out and started to travel?
Well, it's interesting. You said one of the reasons you did it was for them to make decisions and,
Yeah.
figure things out, which I think is super important and something that I didn't get to do, really when I was younger. After I left when I was 16, I did decide all the things, but for me, it was this nurturing growth experience. And every time I traveled something different, to a different place, I learned new things about myself. I learned new things about other cultures, about other people, and just grew exponentially in my understanding of how the world really works
Yeah.
and what's really important to me to do in this lifetime. So it was, I've traveled all over the world. Uh, 40 different countries at least. And it's remarkable, beautiful, sad, but all of the things help you grow and become who you really are. And I think the people who travel and who do it at a younger age, especially when they are in that developing side where they can, they're developing. So they're figuring who they are out, which is going to help them in the long run really live the life that makes them joyful and happy. So
So
I think it's really important, and it helped me in phenomenal ways. I mean, I went to grad school in Australia, and that was incredible.
yeah, I agree with that. Too many people, I think, particularly for our girls, are too protective. Now, I'm the most protective dad on the planet, but I've never helped my kids up one time. Neither has my wife. So when those kids fall down, they get themselves back up. We don't help them get up. And that's translated into, as they've gotten older now, they're 23, 21, and 18. And critical parts of that were sending them abroad. They grew up more a month in China than probably anything they could have done staying the summer over here. But I think that so many parents need to hear that this is a viable thing to go do, and not something, I don't know, they assume that their daughters are going to get sold off into slavery, or, I don't know, they're going to get robbed, or all of the things that could happen while you're here, I suppose. They think that there's some greater chance of that happening over there. So if you were to if you were to, I don't know, give those guys counsel, the parents and the mothers in particular, what would you say about that to them about shipping their daughters over across a pond to another country?
I would say you have to trust your child. If you entrust the knowledge that you instilled upon them and the wisdom, and let go,
Yeah.
because they'll figure it out. And it's really, honestly, like you said, a lot of my friends were I mean, not dumbfounded, but they were surprised about how much I could travel and how I could get to all these places and do all of these things. And it was really just me learning how to go to hostels and how
Mm.
to negotiate, and I have friends all over the world. So it really taught me so much that has helped influence everything that I do. So yeah, I would say to the parents that your child is going to come back a better person. And honestly, there are scarier things here, or cities here, that are, I feel, even more dangerous.